Welcome back to the Create Your Money Making website free 5-day challenge. It is your hostess, Sarah Michaels here. And today we're going to be talking about one of my very favorite topics, which is how to create a site that sells, what some of the key differences are, and what you actually need, the ingredients that you have to have in order to have a website that is going to not only express who your brand is, right? So it's supposed to like visually display your brand's essence, like who you are, what you do. It's supposed to like convey your whole vibe, right? So that people and site visitors can hopefully connect to that, which is one of the goals, right? You want to connect and then ultimately convert that site visitor into a paying client, right? Like this is always the goal, right? That's the goal of having your business, is to be able to generate leads and revenue and have your website be part of your online biz attraction system that is generating consistent cash flow and clientele and automating some of your income and your processes. Now, I know in some of the other, I think it was like day one, we talked a little bit about how most websites are just gigantic money pits, right? And how that not only do they not effectively convert browsers into buyers, but that's because they're not designed strategically. Okay, so a lot of the time when you go to somebody's website, it's just a bunch of information on a page. It's just, they're trying to get everything in there. They're trying to get everything on there, but yet it's not put there in such a way that it's going to walk the user or walk the visitor through a very specific process. Okay, it's not going to walk them through taking them from someone who's a complete nobody, they have no idea who you are, to actually getting them to opt into your email list or whatever service it is that you have to offer, which ultimately leads them up your client ascension process, aka your value ladder, where they are handing over that money. Okay, they're just putting all the traditional tabs on a website, and it's not actually effective. So a couple of the things that we have to get here and that we're going to focus on are strategy, okay, and clarity. So you have to get crystal clear on who you are, what you do, and how you can help your ideal audience. What is that called? Ideal client avatar, whatever. How you can help your dream client achieve their desired results. So you have to have crystal clarity on that. So those are the three things: who you are, what you do, how you can help them. These are the things that you need to have super big clarity on: who you are, what you, and it might sound basic, but going through, and by the way, if you don't know how to get clarity on these things, I do have a training on my website. If you go to sarahmichaels.com, I think underneath of the trainings tab there, or no, actually it's in my inner circle. If you're not inside of there, that is the training that you want to watch. Otherwise, if you go on to like YouTube or something like that, and look up how to define who your dream client is, these are the things that we work on. And these are also what we work on, by the way, inside of the Style It Yourself course, the full upgrade, which unfortunately I can't obviously dive completely into that here today. And now I'm actually getting a little hot, so I'm going to take this sweater off. Okay, here we go. But these are the three things that you want to have clarity on: who you are, what you do, and how you can help. Now, oftentimes, let's see here. Rar. Okay, so these are the first things that you have to have. The next thing that you have to understand about who you are and what you do is what the client ascension process is going to look like. If you've never been a client of mine, you've never worked with me, the client ascension process, if you've heard of this in other places, it's also called a value ladder. I did not know that. I kind of just coined this term, and then I realized that value ladder is what, all the gurus are calling it. So either one, it's both the same. So essentially what you have here is, think of it like a stairway. Okay, so oftentimes when someone is going to, and it doesn't matter what your industry or what your niche is, whether you are a course creator, whether you are a freelancer, a consultant, if you're a network marketer, the client ascension process, you have to understand this, regardless of what your industry or your niche is, and it applies to every single one of you. Okay, so let's unpack what the heck that is. You might want to take some notes. You might want to write this down, and like as this is fresh and as this is going through it. Hopefully, as I'm talking, you're going to be able to figure this out. And you're also going to be able, if you have a current website, you should be able to, by the end of this lesson here today, to be like, to do a self audit of your website and be like, hey, is my website designed strategically? And if not, how can I make it so that it is? All right. So one of the first things is on your website, before you even start, you have to get the blueprint before you can build. So we'll talk about this here. So we're going to talk about the blueprint. The blueprint is who, what, how. That's one of the first things you need for your blueprint. You have to know who your ideal client is, what you do, okay, like what your services are, what your prices are, and how you can help them get from where they are to where they want to be. You have to understand what problem they're trying to overcome. You have to get really clear on your messaging. So that is part of it. Now, the second thing about your blueprint is you need to know what your value ladder or your CAP is. Your CAP is your CAP. So we're just going to put that on there. So the second thing that you need is your CAP. You have to understand your client ascension process. So what I mean by that is I want you to figure out what of your services is your highest level service. If you're a coach or a consultant, oftentimes your highest level service is like working with you one-on-one. If you're a let's see here. If you are a network marketer, I'm trying to figure out how I can do this here. Okay. If you are a network marketer, this is often joining your team at the highest level with the biggest package. If you're like, let's see, coach, consultant, yeah, that's usually it. One-on-one is like the highest level of things that you can do. If you're a course creator, that's your highest value thing. Okay. Now, what you have to figure out is how you're going to get someone in the door. Okay. And what I talk about with this, okay, right? So this is the journey that they're going to go through, right? They're going to journey through your client ascension process here. And if you're ever on someone else's website, oftentimes you land on a web page like this and they have a banner with some text and it's like free. It goes like this, free. And then there's a button and then you opt in and you get a series of emails from them. Okay, or they're delivering some kind of value to you. That's because this person has an understanding of what is going to hook you. Okay, so the hook is the free thing there. This is also what we call the magnet. So I'm going to go ahead and put a magnet here. I am a really bad drawer, so just ignore me. That's a magnet, okay? The free thing is going to be the magnet that's going to attract people to you and get them in the door initially. So, for example, if you are selling any kind of courses or programs or whatever, and when you're looking at websites over the course, that's your homework, by the way. I want you to go look at some other websites and see if they have magnets and what their magnets are. Now, if you go to my website, as it stands right now with who I'm serving and what I'm looking to do and what I'm focusing on right now, my entry point into my business is my free business resource vault. This is something that I give away to people. It's everything that I use and recommend for business and some of the best discounts. Now, when someone signs up for my vault, they have to opt in with their email address and then they get access to on this next page here. Okay, so this is page number 1 of my process here. On page number 2, okay, I'm giving away the value. Okay, and now oftentimes this is whatever it is that they opted in for. And then I offer something called an upsell. Now, The thing about marketing and the thing about building your business, remember, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, marketing is simply getting the message out there of who you are, what you do, and how you can help your ideal client get from where they are to where they want to be. The only thing that's all marketing is. Okay, so once you know exactly what that is, it's just a simple matter of getting more eyeballs on your offer. And that is either going to be through organic methods like this, social media, your website, online strategies, blogging, whatever. Okay, so these are methods of driving traffic, or it's going to come through paid ways, sponsorships, advertisements, other things like that. Okay, so those are the two ways that you're going to build your business. Now, when I'm doing this and I have someone who's opting in and then I'm providing value, I'm getting more eyeballs on my offer. People are starting to know who I am. They're opting into the email list. I'm building my influence because I'm encouraging them to subscribe to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my Instagram. So this is really how it kind of creates this entire like wheel that keeps going and going and going and going and going, right? So the more people opt in, the more people see your stuff, the more your influence grows, the more people see your stuff, the more they opt in, the more it grows. So it goes around and around and around. And this is the goal. This is the maximum profits thing here. And it all starts with understanding and having a really clear picture on who you are, what you do, and how you help people. And then understanding your client ascension process, which is your CAP. So you have to know when you're designing and before you design your website, get the blueprint. Okay? Get the blueprint. Sit down and really think like, okay, I know my end goal is to get people to do this. Is there something I can offer them off the bat that would be of some kind of value? Or maybe you don't have that right now. Maybe you're an influencer. Maybe you're a podcaster. Maybe your hook is your content that you're putting out on your podcast or that you're putting out on your YouTube channel or whatever. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. Some examples of magnets would be like a free download. Maybe it's an ebook. Maybe it's a video. Maybe it's a live training. Maybe it's a free 5-day challenge, right? Look at this. You opted in for one of my hooks, my free magnet right here, which is, hey, I can help you understand and give you a bunch of massive value on how you can be more knowledgeable than 95% of the people out there on how to create a website that's actually going to sell and make you money versus just being a gigantic money pit. So I'm providing a massive amount of value here. You opted in this first page, you gave me your email, and yes, I'm going to be giving you, a recap of all this, connecting with you. I'm inviting you to join the Facebook community where you can connect with other people. I'm telling you like, hey, connect with me on Instagram stories for behind the scenes, right? So these are all things that I'm doing. And then at the end of all this, I'm 1,000% gonna upsell and hopefully, hopefully be able to help take your results to the next level, which would be paying for my Style It Yourself course so that you can go, because as someone goes up your value ladder, the cost of your services is going to increase, but the value should also increase proportionately. So that's what we're going to put here. We're going to put that in black, or let's do red. So I can't decide what color I want to do this in. The cost is going to go up, but the value also goes up as it increases. Now, if you are a network marketer, your free thing, your free magnet right here, I highly suggest you do some kind of like a free video, a free training. So if you guys have seen, I have multiple streams of income. One of my streams of income is I have partnered with a network marketing company. I'm building a residual income stream, and I have my own personal passive income team. It's pretty cool. So one of the things that I offer on my website is I have a free info thing where people opt in on this page right here on my website. I take their email information. And then on the next page, I give them some value and some information on what the opportunity is. And then at the end of that, I tell them how, if they're interested in getting started, they can opt in for that. Okay. If you are looking to sell the products, maybe you're an affiliate marketer. Even if you're a network marketer, it's the same concept. So, an affiliate marketer is someone that sells another person's product that's already done. And it's one of the fastest and easiest ways for beginners to make money. By the way, if you want to become an affiliate of the Style It Yourself course, we offer an extremely generous affiliate commission on that. So one thing you could do would be you could, have this information, provide that, and then upsell on this page so you can earn that. Okay. So whatever it is, you have to understand the starting point of what is going to get someone in the door of your business. Now, after they're in the door, after they're in the door, then that, and the thing is when you're creating the tabs on your website. So let's talk about that here. So when you have, let's see, making sure you can see this here. So when you have your web page here, when you have these tabs on the top, one of the buttons that you have on the top should be this button to get whatever that free thing is. That should be highlighted on your website so that when someone comes to your website, they click there, they see that they're entering their information. Because then once they have entered the information, then you can move to the phase of connecting with them. Whether you provide the information, whether if you're a service provider and you're a freelancer and you're offering services, there should be a button somewhere on your page where they can maybe book a free consultation with you or a free video, or it should go to your calendar so that they can learn more about what it is that you do. Okay. That should be extremely visible on your website. Another thing is, don't overcrowd your tabs with a bunch of information, because then people are not going to take this first step into working with you. You want to highlight this first step. If there's so much information everywhere and it's totally confusing, they're going to end up taking zero action on your website. Okay, they're going to do nothing. They're going to, what we call, bounce. Okay, they're going to bounce. And what happens when someone bounces is essentially the algorithms and the little whatever who decide whether your, information is relevant or not. When someone bounces off your website, this is going to lower your SEO and relevancy score. So then it's not going to rank as high. When someone comes to your website, the analytics will show you how long they actually stay on your website. So once you get someone onto your site, okay, once you have that magnet in there, once they've done this, then comes the job. So there's the hook, okay? The blueprint is the who, what, how, understanding your client ascension process. Then you get into the hook, okay, or the magnet. And then you go into the immersion and information delivery. Okay, this is where you give them the info, and you hopefully you do a good enough job during this section that you connect with them. You are clearly conveying your brand's message. You understand the results that you can give to them. You understand what your services are. All of your wording and your imagery and your branding and your marketing all comes together during this phase, so that if they truly are your ideal customer, in this phase right here of the immersion where you're delivering that information, as long as you do this correctly and they are your ideal client, then what they're going to do is they are going to convert to the next step in your process, which means maybe they have opted in for this free little information thing. Maybe they book a consultation, and after the consultation, they realize they want to work with you, and then they start paying you. Okay, or maybe if you're a network marketer or affiliate marketer, maybe they watch this free information, they want to learn more, and then on this page right here, during this upsell, that's a horrible button here. Maybe on this page right here, when they click it, they actually click to purchase whatever it is that you're selling. Okay, so all of this part of your website is focusing on getting that information out there, educating people, educating them and raising awareness for who you are, what you do, and how you can help them get from where they are to where they want to be. The only three things that marketing is in a nutshell. That's it. Who am I? What do I do? How can I help you? That's it. That's what marketing is. And then as you go forward, getting more eyeballs on that offer. And then the last thing, maybe they weren't exactly ready at that point to buy. Maybe they weren't quite interested. As long as you have captured that information, which is why a lead capture is so important. I recommend a lead capture button on the top of your page. Okay, when you're designing your website, when you're creating it strategically, my friends, you should be listing. So the hook, the tabs are how they can connect with you. Okay, and you should have some kind of follow-up. Follow-up. All right, now on your actual website page, you should have this tab up here. This button right here is for your free thing. That should be highlighted. Now, what you want to do is you have who on your website page. You want to have who, and then you want to have what you do. And this is it in a very, very basic nutshell. And by the way, if you do decide that you want to upgrade to the Style It Yourself course, we have custom templates put together already that all you have to do is fill in your information. They're already designed with the maximum profit blueprints in mind. Okay. And because if you just were to go onto a platform, they're not designed like that. They've got tabs like services, blog, this, like those are nice tabs, but they're really fluffy. They're not designed with strategy. They're just like, bleh. Okay, virtual info brochure, that's it. When you're designing a site that has strategy on it, it should be designed to make the money. So who, what, and then again, somewhere on this site should be that free thing that you're offering. And then also somewhere on the site, ways to connect. Okay, because building your social influence on other platforms, wherever that's at, whether that's on Facebook, your Instagram, your YouTube, your blog, your podcast, I mean, whatever it is, wherever it is that you're building, or maybe you're not building at all and you're just, doing a course or something, that is what should be on your site. It should be super clear. Do not overcrowd your front page. Don't overcrowd it. You want to make sure that you also have social proof that your site is very results driven. It's money driven. It's profits driven. It's about getting your message out there. And I recommend this is the footer right here. So this is the footer, which is the bottom part of a website. Okay, so anytime that someone comes to it, they should constantly be seeing one of these ways to opt in. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about really quick here is you should have a place, ideally, where you can continue to connect with people, whether that is your online Instagram community, or maybe it's a Facebook group, or maybe it's your email list. And I highly recommend, even if you're just getting started, keeping this email list somewhere so that you can continue to connect with your readers. Even if you just simply put this little opt-in here and you're really not utilizing email marketing yet, because you don't have to. Remember, there's a time and a place for everything, and you want to build your business in the right order. You want to build it foundation, expansion, duplication. This is part of your foundation. Too many people are like, oh, I got to build this platform, or I got to build this platform, I got to build this platform. And what they end up doing is they end up running in circles and running and running and running and running and running. And they're so busy, but yet they never feel like they're actually getting ahead. They never feel like their income is exceeding the time input that they have. They're not automating anything. It's because sometimes you've got to take like 5 steps back to go 100 steps forward. So you've got to have the foundation done for your business first, which is what this is. And then once you have your foundation in place, once you know what all of this is, you have everything down, you're good to go, then you can focus on expansion. Then you can do, okay, let's do that email marketing. Like, let's do that, right? Because once you have something that's working, then you can just drive more traffic to it, get more eyeballs on it because it's already converting. But if you have a website that is just a glorified payment processor and it's not doing, it's not attracting, it's not connecting, it's not converting, and it's not automating on its own, then what you're going to end up doing and what so many people do is it's like they have a glass here. Okay. And it's like they have this glass here and their glass has holes in it on the bottom. And so all of this water is leaking out. And yet, when they pour marketing dollars into it, they think, oh, if the more money I put into this, the more I'm going to get. But it's never going to, it's just going to go, shh. It's like pouring water into a cup with holes in it. So make sure you have your foundation done first and everything designed with clarity and strategy so that when it comes time to get into the expansion phase of building your business, the more money that you put into it, it's airtight. So then this cup starts to come up and it overflows and it's just like elevating into overflow. You have massive abundance. And that's really when you see the compound effect of your website putting out more than you ever put in. Okay. And this is the point that we want to get you to. So, anyways, here's the blueprint. I hope you understand a little bit more about the client ascension process. Obviously, I have limited time. I don't want to super overwhelm you, but the focus of your website is to get people in the door, to get them in the door to whatever it is that you're selling, where then you're going to move into the delivery of that information, whether that's a Facebook group, a training, a page on your website, whatever that is. Then you continue to connect and follow up with them, and then all of that does the conversions. Okay. So this is the difference between creating a website that sells and basing the tabs of your website, which by the way, you usually don't want to have any more than 6, and you want to focus on getting people in the door and as simple as possible. Don't overdo it. So if some of the tabs could be like what your story is, if you're a network marketer, it would be like who I am, why this company, why the products work with me. That's it. And and then again, we have these templates. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. Please go ahead, leave your comment down below if this got, not down below, but in the Facebook group, if this got your wheels turning, if you're like, oh my gosh, I get it. And then if you have a website, do an honest overview of your site right now and ask yourself, if I were to go to your website, or if you went to your own website, would you input your information anywhere? That's one of the hardest things, is to take a look at our stuff and be like, oh, I wouldn't even enter information on my own site. Yuck. Right? So do a nice self audit. But if you don't even have a website yet, congratulations, you are positioned well beyond 99% of business owners out there who are just getting started. You're way ahead, and I'm so happy that you're here. So thank you for tuning in. In the next lesson here, we're going to talk about all of the different website platforms. The one that I recommend that will save you, and it saves my clients hundreds of dollars every single month and can literally streamline everything all in one spot. I'm so excited. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.